everybody. This is Michelle Sadler here. Welcome back to my channel, and we're reviewing here the June 2019 card kit club from the Stamps of Life. Gorgeous, gorgeous kit, and we're going to do today the process video of 5 cards that I make with this gorgeous club set and a bunch of products from the Stamps of Life. So here's card number 1. There's a little close up view, and now we're going to start the process to make this one. Okay, so I'm using the mini slimline card base. I cut my base in powdered sugar, and I cut a layering piece from the layering die set. I had a big circle and I just made a circle frame. Of course, I had to take it to my sewing machine and make sure that it's going to stay there. Oops, sorry. Figuring out this camera situation. Okay, so I'm going to glue my circle frame. I'm going to cut the excess, and these cookies came from the paper pad. I wanted to use them. They're so gorgeous to just not use them, so I fussy cut them. There's no die for those because they're from the paper pad. And I'm going to use all the little pieces. I try to use every single piece of my pattern paper pad because it's just too beautiful to waste it. So adding 3 cookies in the kind of corner top and 3 cookies in the corner bottom, bottom corner. I'm going to add I'm going to pretend that I'm like doing my batter for my cookies. So I just draw 2 little whoopsie lines or curvy lines, and I'm going to add a little bit of color. These are Cali Art markers. They were very inexpensive. I got them a while ago, and they're still going. So I only use 2 shades or 2 colors to create my batter. There we go. I don't know if you knew, but alcohol markers work really good on the paper pad from the Stamps of Life. You can add shades and whatnot with your alcohol markers in there, and it's beautiful. I'm adding some layers here. I cut some like you see in the side of the screen. I cut a bunch of little flowers and hearts from the dies that came with my kit, and I'm trying to figure out what sentiment I'm going to put. That's the only thing I didn't have prep. It was the sentiments that I was going to use, but there you go. So before I glue and attach my little mixer, I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put the sentiment. I use Forever Black. That's my favorite black ink to stamp my images for black. And I'm adding some layers using all my embellishments that came on my kit. They're so pretty, and they make really cute card candy. If you don't know what that is, you can ask in the comments below, and I will be pleased to answer your questions. So there we go. I'm adding my little embellishment that I created there, and then I'm going to peel off the pop-up foam squares that I had there, and there we go. Now let's finish the inside. So I'm gonna add a big cookie. Those cookies are the ones that come in the cutout sheet. I cut it with my stamp and die set of the month. And I'm trying to decide what sentiment to put. Like I said, I didn't plan the sentiments, so you're discovering them right now with me. We're doing it together. I'm gonna use my chocolate ink to stamp the sentiment, and there you go. That's our first card for today. Second card, we're going to use the big circle flip it with the thank you my friend add-on, and I'm going to teach you how I do my hidden panel. So I cut a 8.5 by 11.5 by 8.5 sheet, and I thread it to my die, making sure it's all secure. I tape it, not the blade part, but the little X's that the die has, run it through, and that's how I make my hidden panel. That way I can have, or I can make 2 cards from one sheet of paper, or sheet of cardstock I meant. I cut double the layering piece, I cut it double. And this is how I glue the parts to make my flippy from the hidden panel. So I only remove the one side first just to secure it, and then I remove the rest of the adhesive and I place it carefully, that way it matches. See, and there we go. We have our hidden panel. Adding the rest of my layering parts. This is so easy because everything is already figured out for you. You only have to choose your paper and your sentiments, and if you want to put some decorations, and that's it. I love this to make a hidden panel with my flippies. And in my center, and the thank you. I should have done this with cut out with adhesive, double-sided adhesive in the back, but I didn't, so I'm using my glue. Just trying not to make a mess with the wet glue. And like you see, all my papers, I didn't even have to think about it too much because all the colors go well with each other, because that's the beauty of the kit. Everything goes together. So I don't like waste, so I only cut the ribbon that I was going to. This ribbon is so gorgeous that I don't want to lose any little part. The only extra thing I got that it didn't came in the kit, I went through my what's the name of this? I forgot the name of it. Forgive me, but you know what it is. That thread, and I'm going to add a little bow there. Tying my bow, and I'm going to put another piece of double-sided tape, and I am going to add it to the inside of my layering die, or layering piece there. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom, but before I'm going to trim the ends of my bow. That's so cute. I'm doing the same thing at the bottom, cutting off a little. There you go. Almost done. So those are my pieces that I'm going to put, but like I did that in the first card, I'm going to do the same thing to pretend that my mixer has the batter there. So I took a very fine permanent marker to draw my lines, and then color. It needs to be a alcohol marker safe liner, the one that you use. It could be a Sharpie too, That way we don't make sure it don't bleed. Adding a little shade. Oh, I love it. It looks like the blade is moving and mixing all the batter. So pretty. Adding some gems. I'm gonna add a pink gem right in the middle there. And some foam dots because it needs to pop a little. I'm gonna pop a little. And we're almost done with this one, with the second one. We're gonna add 2 hearts. These hearts are so beautiful, they need to be in a card. So I didn't even use half of my stuff from my kit. I didn't even make a dent on it. There's so much that comes in this kit. So there you go. I picked my sentiment. And you see there, I'm trying to clean because this is the first time that I'm using this stamp, so I'm just rubbing it with my fingers to make sure that there's no residues, and that's what I do to prep my stamps. Okay, there you go. Up to the next one, and now we're going to use the recently re-released Step Up card. It's so pretty. So we're gonna give little faces to these cute little cookies. I love how this one come up. Okay, so I have all my pieces already cut. So first, because this needs to dry, we're gonna do this. I like to use the gloss black acrylic paint by Apple Barrel, I think it is. I like that to use that one for my eyes because it's shiny, so I like it. So we draw 4 little dots and we're gonna put it to dry. Be very careful because you don't want to mess it up. Okay, just creasing our folds that our die made. Just making sure they fold. And now we're going to add our layering panels. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to think that much. You only have to choose your papers. These little cookies are so cute. Oh, one thing is you need to pay attention the direction. Like in this case, it has little hearts. So you need to pay attention when you cut it. That way you don't cut it in the wrong way. So the little hearts have to point up because that's the way it's going to stand up. Now with the little leaves, it doesn't matter because they don't actually have a definite direction. That sweet came from the base die that I use, and you got this come from our card kit. Now I need some layers because it will look so boring if I only put it like that. So I'm cutting little pieces from my scraps. You see over there I keep all my scraps and I try to use them as much as I can. That way I don't waste anything. I'm cutting little fish tails at the ends. And I'm figuring out how I'm going to layer them. And I think I'm pleased with that. So adding double-sided tape. Placing them up. You can keep adding layers and layers and it's going to be wonderful all the time. And it helps to ground also your sentiments or your images when you layer different papers or paper pieces. I really love how the little hearts look in the middle of the die cuts that I cut. Okay, now I'm giving it time for my cookies to dry, and I still have one more step to dry that I'm going to skip it by the magic of television, you could say. I edited that part out. Okay, so now I'm going to add, I have shown you this in a lot of my videos, how I add the little rosy cheeks and the little light spots in the eyes and in the cheeks too, with white puffy paint, just 4 little dots there, and that's plenty. You need to let this dry. It needs to be perfectly dry before you touch it, because otherwise it's going to smear. Now I'm going to show you, I make little bows to give him one cookie. I made it a boy, so I give him a bow tie, and the other girl, I made a girl cookie, so I give her a little bow in her head. So this is how I make little bows. It's so easy. You need a fork and a piece of string. You tie it very good. I double knot it, and then you cut the ends. And see how cute it turns? I think it turns pretty cute, and it's a small. Now I cut it on an angle. I didn't like them, and this is important. So my ends of my ribbon don't fray. I always have in my craft room a lighter, so I can burn the ends of my ribbon. There we go. Now I'm going to glue them with hot glue, because it's fabric, and I don't know, I don't trust neither my wet adhesive or my double-sided tape to glue ribbon or fabric. In this case, because they're bulky, the bows, so I like to use wet glue. I mean hot glue. Man, I can't talk today. I'm sorry. Bear with me. There we go. I like it better that way. Now we're gonna glue them on place, and we're almost done. That was card number 3. There we go. Now card number 4. This is one of my favorite card bases, and we don't use them that often, so I decided to use it. And it's the slider card base. Now I cut a standard A2 size card on ginger snap, and I cut all the other pieces with my paper pad. Now just folding all the creases to make sure that they're well crisp, making sure I fold my card base and I have everything ready. Now I'm going to add adhesive on the little flappy that it has, and I'm going to make sure that that bumpy part is centered in the space. That way we make sure it works. Now I add just in the 3 sides. That way the mechanism can work. Make sure your tape is not too close to the in this case blue part, because otherwise it's going to interrupt with the mechanism. Now I cut my base in vellum, because I want the base paper is so pretty. I don't want to cover it, so I cut it with, but I still wanted to give the happy birthday a base, so I cut it in vellum, and I cut the happy birthday on midnight cardstock. Oops, never fear. Always fixable. Okay, there we go. Cleaning all the excess of glue, that way I don't make a mess. I like to use my bone folder to make sure that all the glue is well spread. And now I'm trying to clean the little excesses of glue. You won't notice them, it's just, I don't know. Now, to adhere this, because it's vellum, you will see the glue. So I'm trying to apply the glue right behind the letters so you can't see, and to make sure that I don't glue it on the part that is going to, interrupt the mechanism, I put that little plastic bag just to make sure that there's no glue there. And there's no glue. See? It works. Now I'm adding embellishments. I'm going to add my mountain of delicious cookies. Making sure it works. And I'm going to add a little heart with some gems too. Put 2 up there, and I'm going to put 1 in the bottom. That way it's 3. And I'm going to add 1 heart. Deciding what sentiment are we going to use. I was going to put the hooray there, but it was going to interrupt or cause problems with the mechanism, so I just stamped chip chip hooray, which I think is hilarious. And on the inside, I'm going to put, what did I decide? Oh, Life is Short-Lived Cookies. Really? No, I didn't put that. Yep, I used the stamp that came with the kit, which I think it's adorable. And I use my chocolate ink to do it. I use chocolate because the base is a ginger snap, so I thought black was going to be a little too harsh. Yeah, I'm adding a little heart accessory. And I just attach it with the sticker. Card number 4. We're going to do, what's the name of this die? Build a scene? Yeah, build a scene. So we're going to go from the batter to the cookies in the tray to put it in the oven to the mountain of delicious cookies. That's so fun. So I have all my pieces cut just to make this a little faster. Adding all my layers of cardstock to finish my pieces. Everything is already thought out for you. You just need to choose your, like I said, you just need to choose your paper and go with it. And if you use the same kit, I mean, everything goes together. And on the paper pad, you see what colors you can use with this pattern paper also. Just adding. Yep, that's all you need to do. Just add adhesive, cut your layering dies or layering pieces, and just layer. And then add your embellishments. It's that easy. There we go. Now we're going to put it together. Starting with my base. Over here you have to take that in consideration too, because the hearts have a direction, so making sure you don't by accident, put a panel with the hearts going down, or everything needs to go in the same direction. That's the only thought that you need to put on it. Making sure all your hearts go in the same direction. Making sure all my creases, my folds are very well creased. And now we're gonna fold the little flippies. And I love to use wet glue to make sure that the mechanism is not gonna go away, or it's not gonna come loose or something. So I like to put wet glue. That way I make sure that it's going to stay put and not move. So I apply a lot of pressure with my bone folder, and I am going to put a couple of, three actually, of my stamp blocks to add weight on it to make sure that it's well glued and it's not going to fall apart. I had too much fun doing this, adding the batter to the mixer. I did it in pretty much in all the cards. I hope you like it. If you do like it, please leave me a comment, and I appreciate it. I read all my comments and I try to answer and all the questions when there are questions. So this is so much fun, and like I said, I didn't even make a dent on my card kit. You can make plenty more cards, and the fun situation is that we, the design team for the Stamps of Life, we each made 5 different cards for you to get inspired. So Miss Dania, she did another video with 5 cards, and I'm going to link it below. And the other 2 designers, they did their Instagram posts, and I'm going to link them below too. That way you get tons of inspiration. So in total, you will have 20 different cards that you can make with this card kit. Isn't that fun? I think it is. It was fun to make. And we really hope that you get a lot of inspiration here and visit our pages and our links. So thank you so much for stopping by here in my channel. I hope you learned something new, and I really hope that you take out all your bases and all your Stamps of Life card bases that you have and put them to use. We get all the things, so we might just use them. Otherwise, they're going to be sad. That's what I think. Just adding little touches here. I mean, there's so much in this card kit that you can keep adding and adding stuff, and it will look just more pretty than it is already. So to create a little, or not a little, but to create balance, if I put a embellishment on the top corner, top left corner, I want to put balance in the bottom right corner, or vice versa. I'm not sure my left or my right. You know what I'm saying. Here we go. Like I said, I'll appreciate if you give a thumbs up and if you subscribe to my channel. It's always fun to see, and it encouraged me to make more videos for you to enjoy. I enjoy making them, but if nobody sees them, it kind of make me sad. So please leave me a comment. There we go. Now it says here, today, gone today. What? So I need to put the sign of cookies to make sense of my card. So, yep, I'm gonna put them there, and I need to cut a little flag. Like I said, I use every single little scrap. It's so beautiful to go to waste. So I cut a little flag, and I'm going to stamp it. I think I stamped it with black. Yep, Forever Black. Or no, I'm not sure if it's black. Yeah, or if it's chocolate. Either or will be pretty. I think it's chocolate. So the card reads, cookies, here today, gone today. So funny. Now I'm adding adhesive only in one side because only one side is it needs to be attached to the card. The other side is going to be floating. There we go. So here are the 5 cards that I created here for you. I hope you like them and you visit me more often. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.